All right. Welcome, everybody. My name is Tracy Repchuk. Thank you so much for being here tonight. But more importantly, the reason that you're here is you invested in my book and you took the time out to help support in the campaign or to buy yourself a copy and get started online, which I'm very thrilled for you because it is a life-changing endeavor. And I appreciate what you did and the fact that you're connecting with me now. And let me tell you all about the launch just briefly in an encapsulated moment. You know, it's terrifying when you do something like that because you're really putting yourself out there. When I did it myself, for myself, with the book 31 Days to Millionaire Marketing Miracles, when I launched it as a self-published book and I wanted it to go bestseller, when it did go bestseller, that was great and cool and fun and everything was wonderful. But if it didn't, I only had myself to be disappointed. But when you did it the way I just finished doing it, which means that I've got a New York literary agent, I've got Wiley Publishing that are watching everything that happens. They have very specific requirements for expectations. As you can imagine, a publisher needs you to do well. So that their investment in you was worthwhile. And so this time was quite terrifying because it's not just letting me down if I don't do well, it's letting a publisher down, and it's letting an entire kind of level, this plateau that I have just gone to the next level of, may not have been achievable. And what happened after uh, the launch, could be a very different story than what I'm about to tell you. And so if I backtrack 6, 7 years ago when I first launched the book by myself, I wrote, launched, and got to #1 on Amazon, all in a total of 58 days. It was this whirlwind goal that I had. And from that moment, everything in my life changed. And it was very interesting because everybody started to call me and say, how can I work more tightly with you? I want you to take me through the book. And so I was charging, $10,000 to take people through the book. And that wasn't even doing the websites like I do now for them. It was just kind of connecting with them. And walking them through the process and saying, yeah, that looks good. That looks good. Yes, buy that domain, those types of things, right? So it was very different. And so I made 6 figures very, very quickly. And then I got noticed by the World Internet Summit. And then I got voted New Internet Marketing Success of the Year. And then I got flown, all expenses paid, to Singapore to appear on my very first stage in front of 3,500 people. And that launched me as a rock star and an international speaker. And for 5 years, I've literally circled the globe. I've spoken and I'll get into this in my presentation, in over 35 countries. Everything changed from that moment. And it's funny, with this relaunch, I didn't expect things to change. I just expected that hopefully the book would do well, Wiley would be happy, I could bring out the second book that I have with them because they were happy with the first. And that would be wonderful, and we'd all plod along, and I would be a bestseller again, and perhaps even an international bestseller. Well, what happened exceeded all expectations, and it was almost a different level and a different plateau of what happened in the first one, and I never saw this coming, which was very, very interesting. My only reason for going with Wiley was to just increase my credibility. That's all I was trying to do. I wanted to just have a higher level and appeal to a different type of audience. And it just exploded, because on launch day it went to the bestseller in the USA, and at the same time it went to #1 in Canada. And I was like, whoa, this, all of a sudden I became an international, although it's just north of the border here, it became an international bestseller, and sales were booming, and the communication and the chatter was going wild. And I was like really happy. I was like, oh, that's really cool. That was fun. And then I booked 4 TV appearances from this, and it was very cool. So all of a sudden, I'm going to Canada and I'm doing 2 TV appearances on major news. I was on breakfast television, CTV News, and I come back. I book 2 more TV appearances, and I go down and do these 2 more TV appearances for Good Morning New Mexico and Channel 13 News, KRQE, I think it is. And I was like on cloud 9, and I'm sitting in the airport waiting to fly home after this little whirlwind of a moment and my launch. All happy, Wiley's all happy, things are humming along. And I get a notification from Wiley Publishing that said you just went #1 in the UK. That changed everything. I had intention of launching in the UK on October 14th, which hasn't even arrived yet. And I thought this was going to be awesome. I'm going to launch in the UK and all of these things are going to be great. But the book took on a life of itself, and people started to talk about it, and my page was conducive to selling it in the UK as well, because it was just31days.com, and people could go and buy the book in Canada, US, or the UK on this page. And people started to do that because that's where they lived. Obviously, I had people in my database that I didn't quite think about activating at that moment, and they did. Even though the book isn't there, it's not available, it just is in pre-order. And he says you went #1 in the UK, and we now have to immediately get stock, release, and launch. And it was an incredible feeling. I had just like really blown it out the box, and Wiley was extremely happy with me. And to me, that goes to show the power of social media, for one, the power of community building, because it was not me that took that book to #1. It was you guys, and I'm very thankful for that. And its impact. It's the moment where something that you're doing makes a big difference in somebody's life. And that's what this book was for me, for you. Because I know reading the book, connecting with me, having me help you, it's the real deal. I'm here to make sure that your online branded platform works for you. And so I'm going to go over a little bit, what does that mean? And then we're going to go over kind of how do you use the book to best leverage it. So that was the little journey. And then, of course, like I say, I was I was in the airport, and Wiley talks to me. And then from that moment, it shifted again. That level that I originally got, where all of a sudden I got sales in the door like crazy, I got attention. The exact same thing happened again, and it blew my mind. I immediately got 4 more TV bookings for stations. I got celebrity clients. I had people contact me saying, like people from America's Got Talent saying, "Hey, I want you to build my online brand. I need to leverage what has just happened to me." They hit another level. And so it's very interesting how I popped onto people's radars at the exact time that they were going on a next level. So I'm booking all of these platinum clients, which is the system where I build it all for you, like never before. They're just, contacting me and a chat and a book. And so that was absolutely incredible. And then I was invited to be in a motivational movie, and they came to the house, and they taped me, just talking about what I do and things of that nature. And then they tell me the movie's going worldwide. It's going to be going into what do you call those festivals like Sundance and all of that, and that they'd also like me to appear on a seminar circuit promoting the movie with them. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I mean, how flippin' awesome is that, right? Then last but not least, And this just happened like at 2 o'clock this afternoon, 3 hours ago. I get a phone call from a TV station. They book me for 5 segments. 5. I am going to be appearing on TV at 7:20 in the morning for one segment, 8:20 in the morning for another segment, 9:20 in the morning for another segment. 3 times in a row, I'm going to be appearing on that station for 3 different topics. And then they're going to tape 2 so that they can air me at Thanksgiving and that they can air me at Christmas. I mean, honest to goodness, I could not have predicted this. And so, again, thank you for joining me on this journey. And we're going to now quasi get started into the presentation. So I'm going to be talking about the concept. If you've noticed on the book, the subtitle is now Attract More Leads, Get More Clients, and Make More Sales. And that's really what I have been going around the world talking about for the last 6, 7 years. But what has changed is in the last year, in January of 2013, I decided that I was going to get into the building of it all so that I could accelerate the pace of other people who could not wait, could not get these pieces in place fast enough, and for whose message, if it doesn't hit the marketplace fast enough, you can't leverage it quick enough, or really you can't make money fast enough if your websites are not functioning properly. I decided I would start to build it. And that has brought me to an incredibly new level, simply because now it's kind of not just me, it's this whole company that, is in charge of building websites and building brands and building branded sites and building corporate sites and corporate training and all of these other things that have come together. And so that was one of the switches that I made this year so that I could move up to kind of the next level. And so I've started to say that if your websites aren't working for you, they're working against you, because it is so, so true. I can go to a website and I can tell you instantly why you're not attracting your leads, why you're not getting more clients, and why you're not making more sales. And it all comes down to the way your website looks. I'm not going to spend a great deal of time. Most of you know about me, but there's 4 slides I want to go over with you. And one is my why. For those of you who've known me, who've seen me on stage, who have ever shown up to an event that I am at, in most cases, one or all of my family members will be there. This started me on my journey quite a while ago. Again, me and my husband have raised the kids from the home side by side for 20 years. We have been work-at-home parents for 20 years. And it has made a big difference in our family unity and the way our children are in society. And so that is kind of my why. And again, you kind of know this story, right? It all started out years ago where I brought out my first book and it went to Amazon and it changed my life. And then January of this year, here's a magic moment, and that if you guys have launched any dreams for yourself out there, I can tell you right now that they work. It works. The universe will eventually answer them. When I first put together my book, it was my dream to be with Wiley Publishing, but I knew that without a platform, which meant I didn't have followers, I didn't have my websites in place, I didn't have my structure, and I didn't have my social media and my list all together, they're not looking at you. It's a whole different game now. What they ask, the first question they ask you when you try to present your book to a um, a full-blown publisher is, what is your platform? And this is why I'm building people's platforms right now. Because if you want to be an author with someone like Wiley and you have a platform, I can do that for you. I can get you with Wiley. And if you want to be a speaker, then if you have the platform, I can pull you on various stages and things like that. And so that's why I've been building for my clients and doing as much as I can for them from that angle. Because I totally believe in, as you climb up, you bring others with you. And that has always been my goal. And so in January 2013, in comes Wiley. They sought out me. I did not have to chase them. I didn't have to ask them, nothing. They approached me and they said, I've seen your book, 31 Days to Millionaire Marketing Miracles. We absolutely love it. We believe it can rebrand under the Wiley and with a rewrite and update and stuff like that. We would love to represent you and your brand. And that's a very interesting statement that I want you to recognize. And that's you and your brand. You have to have a brand. You have to stand for something. You have to be something. You have to represent something. You can't be confusing in the industry. I have to be able to know what it is that you do so that somebody can approach you and say, I'd love to have you on our stage because I see you do X, Y, Z. And so that's part and parcel of making sure that one of my visions is for you is to make sure that that happens. And of course, now you can't stop me from writing. I'm constantly writing something, creating something. I'm like a machine now. But that was my, kind of book journey. All right. Then, of course, I've spoken in over 30 countries around the world. It has been a dream life. Honestly, I've been incredibly blessed. But at the same time, I will tell you, it was not a push button life. It was a dream life. And so that is one of the things I like to make sure people understand when it comes to internet marketing. There is no magic push button, but there is a truly rewarding end game when you play this game and when you implement all of the strategies properly, because then you're easy to find. Clients can find you, leads can find you. It can convert to sales when you do it all right. And then you can start to hit the next levels of your plateau. And of course, my latest journey, if you go to my website at any point, you're going to see that I have just been all across Canada and the US on major national TV shows as a technology and social media expert. And when you have that type of leverage and credibility, things change. And this has been part and parcel of the next level of the change. So what I'm going to do now is go over with you what's called the Experts Web Foundation. These are the principles I have followed from day one in my business. And I keep doing them over and over and over and over. And that's why the book is all about learning the foundation, doing it over and over and over, and coming out the other side. So attracting more leads, getting more clients, making more sales, mastering social media, and then how to put it all together. All right, so how do you attract more leads? Again, the book is going to go into detail. The bottom line, though, is you have to know who you are selling to. You cannot skip this step. And you can't say, I'm selling to everybody. I could say I'm in internet marketing and I can sell to anyone. Everybody needs a website. And that's true. But there's corporations, which is a whole different strategy. There's medium-sized business, whole different strategy. There's small business, whole different strategy. There's entrepreneurs, whole different strategy. There is women speakers, authors, coaches, whole different strategy. Okay. You need to get very specific about who you're selling to. And the more specific you get, I can tell you right now, the more successful you will be. Period. If you try to broadly market you and your talents, you will possibly and more than likely fall flat on your face and struggle for a very long time. So this is one of the key pieces right here. Then you get the keywords that they're using in communicating and you leverage them within your website. Okay, and how do you find them? Of course, Google. Google is the greatest tool that has ever existed from a research standpoint and from our ability to tap into our target markets instantly and effectively. Then you can go to magazines. For example, if you are targeting the women's arena, which in most cases I do, you go to women's magazines. What are they talking about? What's happening? What are their issues? Especially women entrepreneurial magazines or entrepreneur and business magazines and stuff like that. Article directories let you see what people are targeting and talking about right now, and forums. Forums are great for getting material for your website because in more cases than not, people are complaining on forums. And so if there is a complaint, you use that in your marketing material. Are you you sick of everybody talking about SEO and you have no idea what it is? Are you sick of hanging around on Facebook and never making a dime and it's wasting your time? Those type of things. So somebody could have said on a forum, I'm sick of wasting my time on Twitter, and so I'm not doing it. And so I would turn that around and say, are you sick of wasting your time on Twitter? And then of course someone in their head saying yes, and I'm saying, well, that means that you don't know how to use it, and I'm going to show you how. And so all of a sudden I've switched their viewpoint, leveraged it in a marketing piece, and pulled them into what I have to say. All right. And then what makes you on your marketing message? Once you know who you're going to be targeting, you have to know who you are and what is your unique selling proposition. And so this is it's a very difficult piece, honestly, to pull out yourself. This is like looking in the glass jar, trying to read the label. And so this is often where you will need the greatest amount of help, is what's your unique selling proposition and what makes you, and how do you connect that to your message and what you're about to do? And again, I just did this for a client yesterday, and it's incredible when you know you've tapped into the exact thing that makes them unique, that can be found in the marketplace, can be carried out across a whole message, and can be understood quickly and easily. All right, so the unique selling proposition, the bottom line for this is it's, again, what sets you or your business apart. And so if we take a look, and I want to bring in symbols as well, because I'm going to be talking a little bit about the value of your logo and the value of kind of your marketing pieces that you choose. So, you can all guess out there. I would usually ask, who's this? You'll say M&Ms, and I'll say, what's their unique selling proposition? And if I could get at the chat room, I would actually wait for you to answer, because I love the interaction. But the one thing about Google in this is it doesn't let me play. Oh, you know what? It is letting me. Ooh, one of the updates. Okay, cool. So if anybody can tell me, oh, thank you, David. If anyone can tell me what the unique selling proposition of M&Ms is. And if you can, type it in the screen. And then when somebody comes up with it, I will release it and they will be the winner. Okay, cool. Yes, the milk chocolate that melts in your mouth, not in your hands. Okay, that's incredibly unique. And then what's this? All right, yep. So this is the Nike Swish. And what is their unique selling proposition? Now, theirs is a little bit more of a tagline, but because of the amount of marketing that they've done, exactly, Penny, just do it. Okay. And now you can be sitting there saying, oh, well, of course, these guys have $1 million marketing budgets and they've been on TV, and that's how we all know what they do. If you take this attitude, you're going to kill yourself online, because online just made everything a level playing field. And so it's important that you understand that we can all tap into, any place we want on Google. There is nothing holding us back except our abilities. They have the same abilities that we do to tap into Google, and from a natural search evolution. Okay, so logo. I'm going to talk a little bit about your logo and the logo evolution. So the first logo that you see there, this is the genius of Steve Jobs, and he was a genius. However, when you're not good at something, don't do it. And Steve learned this very quickly. He developed their first logo, and it was Sir Isaac Newton sitting under a tree waiting for the apple to fall. Do not design your own logo if that is not what you're good at. Really farm this out. And of course, very rapidly, when that logo fell flat and when nobody knew what the heck Apple was, what was going on there, he immediately, and you'll see in the exact same year, 1976, brought in a developer to develop the logo symbol. And then you can see how they've evolved. I bring this point up because some people develop their 1980 clip art and won't let go of it now, because they think that everybody's identifying with that logo and I should probably keep it or else I'm going to lose my identification. No, logos need to evolve. Logos need to grow and change and move forward to adapt to the new environment and the new landscape. And when you do it properly, you can get a great logo evolution. You're not going to lose your identity, but it's important that you do this and don't stay stagnant. So 1952, we got Kentucky Fried Chicken, and we got the Colonel Sanders sitting there, and we all saw and knew, and yay, there it is. And then he had to evolve to KFC because he was going international, and Kentucky Fried Chicken was too hard to translate. Okay, and now he's a universal symbol of this. So that's a very great identification of one, a need for change because he went so international, and two, um, how to leverage an original identity, incorporate it so that it's okay to let go of some of the pieces and become something else. And then, of course, we've got Volkswagen. Now their target audience is Facebook, right? That's most of their target is sitting on Facebook, and so they've evolved perhaps to that color for that reason. And then, of course, we've got Pepsi, and we've got Mercedes. And the reason I bring up logos like this is it goes back to the fact that you can look at something and invoke emotion, and you can invoke qualities and characteristics connected to it. So you can look at Mercedes and say that's quality, that's elite, that's whatever. And Pepsi could be young and hip and whatever, right? It's whatever the marketing that they've wrapped around the logo, so that now all they have to do, and all you will have to do when you do this correctly, is have a logo that invokes something and represents you well. And so here's some of the logos that I have just finished developing. And you'll see Michelle, who's into copywriting, and she writes emails and Joy to Abundance with Marbeth, and corporate communication strategies, Sedona Dental Arts, Penny Wild, leadership and communication strategist, gourmet cheese, premium gourmet cheese, Jean Marie Prince. And so in the case of Jean Marie and Michelle and Penny, you'll notice that in these cases, and in my case, we are branding us as kind of the forefront and as the product in a way, because we're speakers, we're authors, we're owners of businesses and things of that nature. And so that's the thing you decide as well. Are you going to brand your business, or are you going to brand you? And because the internet is a very big beast, it's sometimes more effective to brand you because you're the one that's out there getting the reach and getting the connections. And so the other reason it makes it easy too is, for example, when you're a speaker and when you're on TV and your name flashes in a few seconds, they're like, oh, what was that name again? Oh gosh, it was Penny. Was it Penny? Penny Wild? Okay, good. And then they're going to go search for it, and everything will be strategically in place and be ready for that moment. All right, I'm going to quickly talk about the business card. I don't talk about this in the book, but I think it's a very important piece. And since you're here, we're going to talk about it. And that is the design of your business card has changed over time. Many people are still following the old layout. Here's this, here's my name, here's my address. I mean, even though you're not even a physical address anymore, most of us are working out of the home. And then, these kind of elements, and then it's all about them. You want to turn your business card around. You want it to make sure that it has a brand, that it has your unique selling proposition clearly labeled. It has a logo and an identity streaming through it. And then, of course, on the back of the card, which is your magic bullet now, this isn't for random quotes. This is for you to drive them to a call to action, which is sending them to your landing page. Okay. And of course, as you got that book, you're going to see I talk a great deal about landing pages because they are a gold mine. Those are the list building database mechanisms, the asset builders of your business. And when done properly, this is your way of having an ability to communicate en masse in one moment's time and absolutely take action. And so if your business card is not designed properly, chances are the rest of your marketing material is going down the same line, kind of the the incorrect of what's happening on the current landscape, and you're losing money. And more importantly, you're throwing money down the toilet, because if you're following the same principles from a $10 card and sweeping that knowledge you have onto the internet, then that could cause very big issues in your conversions, your sales, and your lead generation. All right, step 2, getting more clients. Okay, I am always surprised by the fact that most of us and most people that I meet are all dressed for success. You're looking good. You got your Gucci bag, your Prada purse, your whatever shoes. You got a great looking suit on. You're showing up ready to play a big game, ready to make money, ready to get your message to the world. And then we come to a site that looks like this. Okay. And obviously, I've chosen these 3 people because they knew. They knew that they needed to play a bigger game. They knew that they needed to change their look, because they were way, way more than what other people were seeing. They were far more successful. And we're back to, you get 3 seconds, and only 3 seconds, to make an impact. And if they have met you at an event or whatever situation, right? And then they come here, or they've just randomly found you, you're killing your sales. You're actually costing yourself money. So if you're sitting there going, I can't afford to have my websites done, I can't afford this, you can't afford not to be in business, is what's going to start to happen right now. There are billions of websites out there, and if you don't stand out when they reach you, there's the next one that they're going to pick. And again, if your websites aren't working for you, they're working against you. Quick client. I'll just kind of hone in on one. I won't go into the deep story of it, but here's one example. And it was not working at all. Everything stopped working, and sales stopped happening, and it wasn't producing the results that it once did. And probably because it was designed like 6 years prior, right? And so if you haven't visited your website in the last 6 months, it's probably old and it needs a full rebrand. And that was the other thing here too. There was no branding. I really didn't know what they were. The biggest thing you see is something that looks like asswipe. And I didn't know what that was, but that's what it reminded me of when I saw it. And then you have to, and that's why it's sometimes good to have somebody come in your life and do this, because it's hard to see where you are and how far you've come down a road. And if you're sitting there with a whole pile of knowledge in your head, your experience, you've done something for 10 years, you're ready to rock and roll and really play and go up to a bigger game. This type of site is going to keep you anchored. And then if you've got the same mentality as you did with this site, you're not going to be making enough money anymore to be sustainable. And that's why with this particular site, we changed Bernie's perspective, and he became a speaker and a coach instead of just a photographer, because he had been in the business for 45 years. And so, do you want to make $125 taking photos, or do you want to make $35 to $5,000 showing up as a speaker? Or even more, do you want to make, anywhere from 2,000 to 10,000 as a coach to help people establish themselves in the photography field, exactly like he had? And so this instantly boomed as soon as we got this going. Oh, actually, I think he gives this. Yes. So, again, thank you for changing my life. Consultancy was all new to me. It wasn't even on his radar. Neither was speaking. And it might not be on your radar depending on where you are as well. But it's important because, he signed up $8,000 of consulting clients. Compare that to 125 at a whack, and $50,000 with a large contract company. It changes. When you change online, it changes people's impression of you, period. And I think it's getting kind of underestimated in my in my opinion, and it must be because of how many sites I see out there that just are not representing somebody very well. And then I got to make this very clear, is this is only half the strategy. Even when you have your website smoking hot and it is ready to go and it is 100% geared towards your target audience, and you got to remember here, when you look at this, my target audience is media and speaking, and it converts like crazy for media and speaking. And as a beautiful subset, it converts for people coming and wanting websites built, having me as a one-on-one coach. I mean, I have people that come here and they'll click on a button and they'll pay $550 to $1,000 an hour. And it's just sitting on my website, and they find it and they pay that to me. So I will do a consult with them because I can unwrap someone's life in an hour and give you the recording of it so that you know exactly the strategies that you have to move forward with. And if you think about kind of the cost to value ratio, the cost of being paralyzed and standing still cannot be measured practically, because time is going by. You're not going to get it back. But more importantly, every day that goes by that you're not correctly moving in the direction you need to be, because you don't know what that is, you're going to find that that paralysis is costing you money every single day. All right, so the second part, and what is really, really important, and one of the very first things, and that's why it's at the beginning of the book, is you need to build a landing page. You need to start to create that list of people that know you, like you, trust you, and buy from you. And the landing page, as you will again, if when you refer to the book, you're gonna see that it talks very heavily about the fact that it has one purpose, and that purpose is to get the name and the email address and nothing more. I don't want you to, do anything else except that. So I think, kind of in the book, it starts at once you've gotten your domain for your landing page, it's like day 3, and that's why it's so kind of critical to be at the beginning. It's day 3, and it's about page 54, and this is where all the stuff for the landing page begins. The old methods of meeting somebody, trying to get them as a client, meeting somebody, trying to get them as a client. This is a landing page because it has the ability to attract anyone on the internet for the keywords and for the domain that you're leveraging, and attract them into your funnel, communicate to them on your behalf, and then even close them. It's got this ability to do and work for you on autopilot, and it truly works. I mean, it has worked over and over and over for me. So again, it's very important that you get this landing page in place. And here's just a couple of examples of landing pages that I've created for some of my clients. And again, you'll see it has one purpose: name and email, name and email, name and email. That's all we're doing. And then how do you make more sales? Well, this is where that magical autoresponder system comes into play. And again, all of this is detailed in the book. What is an autoresponder? Why do you need them? What are ones that you should be buying? And how do you put a message together? Things of that nature. And so it goes, the name comes in, the email goes, and then automatically, while you're in bed, while you're doing, it doesn't matter, an email will go out and it will be personalized, and it'll say, hey, how you doing? Thanks for joining my community. Go get your free gift. Next one says, so where are you? What's happening in your life right now that you were seeking out what I had that was available? Let me know. And definitely be open to receiving, even though this is going out on autopilot. Invite them to reply and connect with you, especially if you are just starting out. When I was just starting out and I had the first 50 people in my database and I had name and email, I was personally scooping them out and emailing them directly and saying, what's happening? What can I do with you? What were you looking for? So that I could fine tune my message and really understand what brought them to me and what were they looking for. And then that allowed me to close people like crazy crazy. They would say, I'm looking for this, blah, blah, blah. And I'd say, I'd have that. Would you like to have a chat? Again, don't be afraid to get on the phone with people. If you think it can lead to a $3,000 or a $5,000 sale, get on the phone with them. Give them 15 minutes of your time. And so I would get on the phone and I'd say, what are you looking for? This, and this. And I'd say, well, back then, I don't really have it anymore, but I would say, I have the Entrepreneur in Overdrive coaching program. It's me taking you through the book. It's $10,000. We go from end to end. At that time, it was a year-long program. How would you like to do that? And I will hold your hand for a year. And it'd be like, oh, yes, I would like that. That will really help out a lot. And I'm like, great. Okay, good. And so see how that 15 minutes, but even though it's automated and things are happening, don't underestimate the value of you stepping in, especially at the beginning, and making sure that you accelerate the promotion and the selling and the building of the relationship that can occur, because you need to know what's going on in their minds frequently and often invite them to connect with you and to call you and to make an appointment with you and things of that nature, because that will lead to more money faster. And then mastering social media. Where do you need to be? Again, I go through this in the book and the key critical areas about where you need to be and why I use each of these. Okay, so Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, absolutely vital to be on them. Google Plus is now vital to be on as well, because that's the one that's getting indexed. So what you're saying in other places, make sure you're repeating in Google Plus. It's not my favorite hangout area. I find it difficult to track, which is why I hang out in Facebook like crazy, because it's got the perfect structure and setup. Google Plus actually has far more features, but they haven't mastered the ability to really engage in a community environment yet. However, you need to be there. So make sure that you secure your brand in all of these and that you are active. All right, so Twitter. What do I do on Twitter and why do I like it? Twitter, I use Twitter for two things. One, to drive people to my landing page, and build my database, because for some reason, a whole pile of people come to Twitter and I don't even know them and they follow me and I drive them to my landing page. I couldn't do that. I can't penetrate the world like we somehow penetrate in social media. They've got this ability to tap into our direct and target market based on our keywords in a much smaller scale, to where people find you and then start to follow you, and then I drive them over. So that's what I do in Twitter. The other thing you can do in Twitter, and it's the only social media that allows it, is directly contact somebody, period. You want to contact Oprah, you go to @Oprah. You want to contact Richard Branson, you go to @Richard Branson. You can directly, whether they're monitoring these, somebody is on their behalf. And I have countless stories where people have used Twitter to encounter or to connect with somebody like Oprah and have actually managed to do it. And again, through producers, through filters, through all sorts of things. But the bottom line is they got exactly what they were looking for. And that was a connection and picture and an event with Oprah. So don't underestimate the value of that little @ symbol and communicating frequently and following somebody intently if they're your exact prospect, and making sure you're available to help them. And then Facebook, that's where I do all my community building. I have my normal Facebook page. I think I got 15 spots left right now and probably 1,200 in a queue. So if you were on this webinar, and you want to connect with me on Facebook and we're not already connected, make sure you tell me that, because I pretty well don't accept somebody unless they're a current client, or they say, I was just on your webinar, I was just at a live event with you, things like that, that can help me to connect you back about you truly do want to follow me. You do want to listen to what I have to say, because if you don't, go away, because I have a lot of people in the queue that would like to. And so that's, again, what you'll start to get like as well. You'll start to hit your max on your Facebook page. And then that's where you move to your alternate pages, like your business page, or in my case, I have a fan page. And then one of my greatest areas on Facebook and one of my favorite places is my private client page. I go in there 4 and 5 times a day and I check out what my clients are asking. and I check out what's going on up there, and I help connect people up there. And so again, that's what you want. You want to start a private client community where they have to request, and of course they have to be at a certain level, because when people are getting your time, they have to be at a certain point in their game, or they have to have invested in you in some sort of level and access, simply because you won't have the time to give to everybody unless they have done that. And that's why the funnel exists, right? That's why you have your book, and that's why you have your membership site, and then you have your ability to buy your whole product series, and then you have live events. That's why the funnel exists, so that you can continue to create a relationship with people that can't afford the upper level yet. And then LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the gold mine for professionals. If you're a professional, an author, a speaker, anything like that, your target and the money is over here. So you want to make sure that you are using and setting up LinkedIn properly, and really kind of leveraging what's over there. For example, if you're a speaker, there's calls for speakers and all sorts of things going on over there that you can tap into. Alrighty. Okay, so putting it all together, before we go into generic Q&A and just generally glancing through the 31 days of the book and things of that nature, I'm going to tell you about two opportunities, because I've been asked this now, exactly like last time. People are asking me, how can I work with you? How can you do this for me? Blah, blah, blah. So I'm just going to do two touch points in a way that you can work with me. All right, so the first one is called an online clarity cleanse. This one is probably, I find it's one of the greatest hours I spend with somebody ever. And what I do here is I get on the phone with you, and after I have studied all of your marketing materials. Okay, so let me go through it. I'll send you out a questionnaire. You're going to fill it in. You're going to tell me all your marketing materials, where they are, what is happening, what your goals are, where you want to be, who you think your target audience is, who your ideal client would be, everything. It's this really detailed thing that I'm going to be studying. And then I'm going to study all of your websites, all of your social media. Oh, I probably talk about that separately. I'm going to do a full evaluation of your website, tell you everything that needs to be updated, upgraded, fixed, changed, everything that you're going to need to know. So that this is a very accelerated way to leverage the book and have access to me to launch you. Remember, I said the number one stuck point for people is, who is their target audience and who should they be marketing to? And what should they be saying? What's their unique selling proposition? And what's their landing page? What should their landing page domain name be? What all of these kind of initial fundamental elements, so that you can run forward now with what you know. This is what we're going to solve on this call. So you're going to get a personal one-on-one call with me, where I've gone through all of your stuff, and I'm going to answer. After I've studied everything, I'm going to know what your unique selling proposition is, what makes you unique, what market you should be targeting, what your landing page domain should be. I will research and make sure that we can get what's available. I just did it like 10 minutes before I got on the call with a brand new client. Got the most awesome, I'm not going to say it in case they haven't bought it yet, but my God, I got the two most awesome domains I've seen in ages for them. And then I'm going to get you what your guide should be called. People underestimate this free gift that goes out through the landing page. And again, I talk about it in the book. It's not just guess what? I have a video. I'll just put that there. Or I just have this. I'll put that there. I know I did this cool interview with such and such. I'll put that there. This freebie gift that you need to be giving away is a structured kind of crescendo of what they need to know in the industry, and the fact that you solve it. Okay, so that's what you're doing. So 7 secrets to making more money and working less. So Catherine would have put together her 7 steps of doing that. And of course, the call to action is, well, why don't we just make this easy and have me do it with you, or have me work out something with you, that type of thing. It's about moving people towards a call to action that is going to get structured and, of course, done successfully, so that you are able to generate qualified leads instantly, without taking a lot of your time. And again, I'm going to go study your social media strategy. So many people are doing so much wrong out there, and then you are wasting a lot of time. And so I go and I help make sure that everything is directed and everything is branded before you move too far forward. Again, I had one client that had 5 different names for each of these. Well, that's not a brand, and we can't find you now. You've lost and watered down everything. And once you get on these, you can't change them. So he was like Navigator Larry and Larry H. Hall and Larry this and Lawrence, and there was 5 different names going on, and it's very hard to change after. So especially if you're just starting out, this could be one of the greatest gifts in making sure that everything is clean and straightforward. When we're done the call, I'm going to put together the personalized strategy action plan that you're going to follow step by step by step, completely geared towards you, and include a video replay of that. And then I'm going to give you the business card template and the QR code that will go with the domain name that I select for you. And in addition, I'm going to give you my entire online internet marketing system. Again, this was a system that I sell for $3,497. It was what I used to sell from the stage. It's all of the internet that I have done. It's 120 grand worth of research and reviews for clients that I've done. Everything that I've done is sitting in this system. So I'm going to show you how to target market, how to attract your ideal client, how to list build to get rabbit hungry fans, how to make Google fall in love with you, how to blog, how to do relationship building through copywriting and social media, the magic membership formula that includes all of the steps you need. How do you put one together? How do you landscape and plan for a membership site? How to create a sales page in 60 minutes, making money while you sleep, and how to attract customers like crazy. All of the elements to getting traffic. And again, my book gives you all of these pieces, but I can only go so deep in a book. I can't give you videos, and I can't give you access to all of the reviews and all of these things all of the elements that can really allow me to go meat and potatoes with you. And so this system has been allowing me to do that with people for 6-7 years now, and it's constantly updated and upgraded because I live, eat, and breathe this industry. And so that's exactly what I have to do. All right. So you guys already have a signed copy, or you have a copy of my book. And actually, anybody that buys is going to get my teleseminar training and how I made $21,000 in 90 minutes. You're going to get access to all my insider guides and all of my advanced trainings. In the beginning, and these go way back, how I became a 6-figure coach. Again, how did I make 6 figures in my first few months? How I went from selling a $25 book to an $8,000 coaching program to a $20,000 sales page. How do you put together Google AdWords, and how do you put together and work with Twitter to build a fast community? So I've got 2 offers for you here. So there's going to be 2 prices that I'm about to show you. So again, this is the complete online marketing system. Value is this. It's going to include videos, formulas, templates, reviews, fully loaded and updated, lifetime access to all of that. And again, it's going to include the call. So what I'm about to show you includes all of my assets, all of my training resources and materials, plus the call. You and I are going to get together, and I'm going to launch you. I'm going to make sure that the path you're going out is going to be a lucrative one. That's the value of it. You guys already have, as a book buyer, the ticket to come to the Business Online Mastery event, Feb 6th, 7th, and 8th in Burbank. This will get you another ticket. So that's pretty cool. The value for all of what I've just shown you, getting on a one-to-one call with me, and again, normally I only do this for my platinum clients, again, people that have paid me anywhere around the $20,000 mark. But I'm going to be doing this, and this is an offer to you guys because you already took your time and helped me to get to where I am right now, and I want to help to get you to where you want to be. And so everything you saw there is $997, including a one-on-one call with me where I will get you the answers that you're looking for before we leave that call, which means your niche, we're going to get clarity, your social media strategy, complete website review, and your unique selling proposition, your landing page domain name, and what's that freebie gift you're going to give away. Now, for anyone who doesn't want the call part of it, I didn't want to leave you out. And so this is where I said there's two offers. If you want to purchase just the entire Recurring Riches for Life system, full access, again, the value is $3,497. For anyone who wants the online clarity call, you can go to tracyrepchuk.com/OCC online clarity, and you can schedule and book a call with me. And after I've gone over your questionnaire and after I've evaluated all of your websites and your social media. And if you want to just buy the online system, it can open up for you today, and you can get started step by step by step with video trainings, the whole works. That whole system, that's the repeat of this, is $497. Okay, so you can go to tracyrepchuk.com/OTO. That's the one-time offer. I've opened this up for again for the book buyers, for you guys who have invested your time and energy into helping me get to where I am. And so I'm opening up all of my assets to help you get to where you are. So that is that. Now I'm going to come and I'm going to check for questions. And I'm hoping there's a barrel of them. I'm hoping you guys are all totally, let's see, totally ready. Let me close him for Q&A. And there it is. And there you are. Okay, cool. Here. So one of the questions was about the QR codes and like, why do we need them? Why do we care? Okay. Let's see. The bottom line is QR codes are definitely gaining momentum. Whole magazines are coming out with a QR code. This is where you scan from your phone and you go directly to a website from the barcode. And if you go to my book later, you will see in page 207, it's called Mobile Marketing Now or Later. It talks about having a mobile ready website and kind of the value of the QR codes. I would definitely have QR codes in my marketing materials because the iPhone, it's got 5 billion users, and there's only almost 2 billion users on the internet. And so the phone has become the device of choice. And so you want to make sure you are catering at every opportunity to be able to connect with someone standing right in front of you. I mean, that's the beauty. You can really be standing there and say to somebody, oh, you're talking, chatting, you flip your business card over, they scan while you're standing there, they give you their name and their email address, and boom, they're in your system and you continue the conversation. That way, you're not handing them a card, hoping later they use the card and then hoping that, things come together for you. Because it really does kind of, it really expedites the process. And considering the speed at which people like to move in motion, it really, really helps. So any other questions out there before I do a quickie review? And Penny, do you have your headset attached at all? If you do, I'm going to unmute your mic and maybe just say a few words. Penny is one of my platinum clients, and she's undergoing an incredible rebrand strategy. And she was an original purchaser of my book and a new purchaser of my book. And so, maybe how does somebody stick around me for 6 years or 7 years, however long Penny's known me now, and move through the ranks from a book buyer to a platinum client? And what was that journey like? Maybe if I've unmuted you, Penny, if you've got a mic on.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can. Oh my God, so nice to talk.
So congratulations. I'm missing the 80s hairdo on, the original 31 Days, but I'm surviving.
Yeah, isn't it funny?
Relate.
The Farrah Fawcett moment.
So I just want to, I'm so glad that you're doing this webinar. I'm learning on this webinar. And what you do is you model, what everybody can do is they can model exactly what you do.
Hmm.
And you've created the book. And so it begins with a book. And the book opens the doors for you. And then once you've been able to open those doors, you can create an entire system for what your expertise is in life. And what Tracy allows you to do is to be able to really, sift, sort, and separate through the whole words of, niche and brand and all that stuff. And, she and I connected years ago because we do, I don't do all the SEO and all of the brilliant stuff that she does, but my background's, similar in some ways. And there are so many, the wonderful world of the internet is that your expertise, you can take it and you can really support your family and do what you love. And Tracy knows how to package it, put it together, search optimize it. She has contacts all over the globe. She's working, living, breathing, eating this stuff. And if you're on the fence at all, I can tell you from knowing her for well over 10 years at this point, and still keep coming back to work together and learn more. Just these are crazy prices that you put out today, Tracy. I just want to tell you.
Yeah, that's right. I don't want my clients, I don't want anyone getting mad at me, right? But
But
this
please,
was, yeah, this was really all about thank you guys, because it's because of you that I have gone one further step.
yeah, and you know what? I just want to say, in the world of trying to figure out who do I work with, it seems like there's so many people, and here you've got a mom who's married, solid relationship, raising her children. Her word is her bond, and there's no one that I've seen with more integrity in the online world that can help you get it done. You can call her, you can talk with her, she's there with you. There's no other choice.
Well, wow. And I was very fortunate that you were on the call. So thank you so much for, again, taking some more time out of your busy schedule, because Penny's, she's just on the road now as well. So let's take a look, let's take a quick peek at the landing page that I just built. And what is that, Penny?
Well, we have Find the Leader in You.
That's it. Findtheleaderinyou.com. Might as well promote for your lovely accolades that you've just given me. And again, that's all about stepping up too, people. Step up, get people will help you when you do kind things for them, type of thing. So here's a good look at kind of what we're working on with Penny. Okay, so she has this great 7 steps to establish your core values, vision, and voice. And kind of accelerating at who you really are, how to be authentic, and how to unleash all of the power within you to be that leader and to step into the position of being that trusted and chosen and advisor. And so, you got to find ways to properly package that. And then we're still building. Is it Penny Wild? Or have we got it in a subsystem? It may be still in a subsystem. Okay, no, it started. So there we go. And again, you saw, I actually showed Penny's site in one of the slides. And I wonder if I can quickly.
You don't have to go back. It's okay.
Okay, let's just say, look where she is now, and it's incredible. When you organize your assets, your mind assets, your intellectual assets, the things you have done. I mean, Penny's been on television all over the place. She's a speaker. She's got amazing products. She's got testimonials, media attention. And so when you're not properly representing that online, you don't get picked as the expert that you are, and you're devaluing yourself, and of course your people aren't getting the value of your message. And it's just very important that they do, because every single person was put here for something. And I'm sure you got your message in you and you want to know it, and you want to get it out there worldwide. And this is the way to do that. Okay, so thank you so much. And I will put Penny back on mute there. And always great to see clients. I mean, like, you guys don't get enough of me, and then I'm very blessed and honored that you continue to show up for the next thing. I'm just going to take a look at here that tracyrepchuk.com/OTO for the one-time offer. It will take you to a page that looks like this. Okay, and again, it talks about all of the modules and all of the assets and all of the things you're going to be getting access to. And so that's what that looks like right there. And the other one, I will try it. Again, we just kind of put this together just before the call, and it was OCC. I'll see if it's there. If it's not and you want it, just get in touch with us. Okay, good. It is there. Okay, great. So there you go. If those are things that you're interested in and you really want to do a one-on-one call with me, that would be awesome. I'm going to check again for questions. Okay, cool. So you guys, I mean, I had one question here. How many books have been sold in the US? I honestly, I have no idea. When a publisher is handling everything, you know nothing. And I will also get paid nothing. I mean, honestly, I'll make that reality. I'll tell you about the difference between being self-published and being with a publisher. It comes down to credibility, because I get next to nothing. I think even my percent was something like 15. And then I walked over to a New York literary agent that I had wanted forever, handed him the contract, and he takes 10. And so but the fact was, he isn't taking clients anymore. But I walked in with a 2-book deal, and it was irresistible. And so I have been leveraging money lately for kind of raising my own profile. And so at some point, you see, things will shift. At first, my whole goal for you is get money in the door as fast as humanly possible. What can we sell? What can you wrap your head around? What kind of coaching program could we do? And let's sell it. And that's what this book is about. What can you sell, and how fast can you sell it? And if you have to incorporate some old school in that, then do it. And by that, I mean, if you can only get your landing page up and you can start to database build, and then you have to get on the phone and close people, then do it. This is about putting, kind of getting your message out there, crafting your program or what you can sell and offer to somebody, taking it to the next level, and continuing to put it together in such a way that people will pay you more and more and more, simply because you're worth it. You always were worth it. It's just a question of getting others to get that you were worth the price that you believe you should be charging, and for things of that nature. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm just going to quickly go through the book here as a quickie last thing. And I'm not going to be going in detail through the book, just the bottom line of what you have. So you'll notice in the beginning, and one of the things, I think it's back here, I say is, do not skip this section. And the reason I say that is twofold. One, it has my story in it, and I really want you to get to know me, because everything hasn't been, perfectly beautiful. I'm at a perfectly beautiful spot now, and it worked long and hard to get there. I have an incredible 20-year marriage, and I have 3 unbelievably off the hook, contributing, beautiful children that are now 16, 17, and 18. But that came with a great deal of effort. And so I want to make sure, when I say in the beginning, read the foreword, or read the introduction, I think it is. And then the other reason I tell you not to skip parts is even if you think you have it in, you're like, oh, I'm going to skip the landing page section because I already know how to do landing pages. I've got them. They're doing great. Read it anyway. There could be one little jewel in there that you didn't know that can be a game changer. It's just incredible. You just don't know what you don't know. And I'm the same. I mean, just because um, I am a coach and a mentor, don't think that I don't have coaches and mentors above me, because I do. And again, I talk about this in the book too, is even though most people look at me as a peer now, there are still people that I continue to invest in at a very high level, and happily do so, because it's all about getting information and learning about things that you don't know. All right. And so here's the section where I talked about, and if you skipped it and you're already at the landing pages and stuff because your book came in, um, go back and read it. Okay. Because it's a little bit about how did I find internet marketing? How did I even stumble into this industry and start to do what I did? And my story about how that moment occurred is all back here. All right. And then again, get your mindset all organized, get your stuff cleaned up, begin with the end in mind. Get your goals established, because if you don't set your goals, you're going to have no idea at the end of all of this journey whether you got there or not. Take a look at who you're hanging out with. All right. If you got negative people in your life and you can avoid them for a little while, do it. This is a very important time for you. You are about to implement a strategies here that can truly get you your dreams. And again, I'm living proof of following this, and I have thousands of clients around the world that are also living proof of these strategies. Again, and setting your goals. There's some fast cash strategies in here that was new and added to this book for the Wiley edition, which is kind of fun. You know, how can I make some quick cash? Chapter 2 goes all through the stuff, evaluate. This is about picking your niche. Day 1, you got to pick your niche. Don't go past day 1 until you've got your niche, because the rest of the stuff can't happen. You got to, and if you take a while here, that's okay. It's that important. And then you put your branding strategies together and you start to plan, what's my landing page going to be called? You're going to create it on your master domain and things like that. And how do you pick domain names and just all of that. And then of course the power of blogging. That's your big connection to Google. All right. People say, why do I blog? Do I really need it? I don't have anything to say, and no one's watching anyway. Who cares who's watching? Google watches you 24/7. That's who's watching. You want to make sure that you do that. Day 3, squeeze out your landing page. Again, I cannot tell you how important it is. It's why I charge what I do for landing pages, and because they're truly worth that investment. One person in your database correctly gotten can be a $3,000 to $5,000 client, period. One person in your database. And so when you do the entire structure correctly, that easily pays for itself. Opt-in. What are you going to give for your gift? We go into the detail, and I talked about that. Selecting your autoresponder. Okay. Getting paid. That's again kind of implementing strategies such as PayPal. This will take you all through it. I'm just going through here so you realize that you don't skip the steps. This was put in this sequence for a very specific reason. Getting prospects, traffic, some of the ways, signature files, the importance of all of these things, the importance of articles, press releases, testimonials, posting to news and social media groups, your error pages, all of these strategies, page rank, signature files, very important. Most people don't even pay attention to them. SEO, how do you take advantage of SEO and properly and easily and simply, without spending thousands of dollars every single month. Link strategies that you can leverage. And then I take some of these and I blow them up because they're that important. Press releases, articles, things of that nature, testimonials, of course, and then social media, obviously. Into the social media, going through all of the important elements, some of them that you should be, and how to leverage tools such as Hootsuite to make sure that you make it a little easier for yourself. Facebook, the difference between your normal page and your business page, and how do you set all that kind of up. Things I do in Twitter, how do you set all that up? Google Plus, making sure you understand kind of the most important pieces, and LinkedIn. Then autoresponders, why they work. Why do I have to do this? Why do I have to set up and then autoresponders, what do I do with these? How do I tell that story effectively? And then the cycles, how often do you communicate? All this is in there for you, taking you through it step by step by step. Google AdSense, if you want to get into that, how to build passive streams of income, and leveraging ad sites and stuff of that nature. Again, my daughter, when she started at 12 in the internet marketing ring, because how can you not? You've been watching me, and when she used to come to my shows, and she used to be at the back of the room, and she'd say, "Oh, I want to do that." I remember the first time she said that. She was 12 years old, and she said, "I want to start my own business, and I want it to be in the eBay." And she saw this guy doing eBay, and so I hired him to teach her how to do eBay, because that's not something I hang out in. As great a avenue as that is, it's a full-time job. You want to do eBay, you do eBay. I'm not trying to, so I wasn't juggling eBay and all these other things. So that's the other thing I want to highlight to you as well, is you can only do so much. So stay very, very, very focused in the beginning on getting one thing out the door, selling it, doing well with it, and then working on the next. Don't try to put your entire funnel together in 8 weeks. Make sure, and then have nothing sell. Make sure that your funnel, step by step by step, you sell that first item. The other piece of information I'll tell you is, when you're setting up your funnel, sell your most expensive thing first. That's what I did. That's how I made the money. That was one of my secret and golden tickets, how I got started so rapidly, is I went from selling the $25 book, which is kind of the introduction to a person, to selling, the $5,000 landing page, $8,000 coaching program, $20,000 sales page. Go straight for the big kahuna. Then they can drop back into the littler ones if that is out of their reach. But if somebody needs help right now, why deny them the ability to get you and hire you to do whatever? This was their intro to you. They like you now. Let them in and let them have full access. And so tell them about that immediately. Don't think you have to. So go straight to your most expensive item in your funnel, and then backdrop off. Talk about all the different products you can create, okay, and the pros and cons kind of going that route. I mean, I would not recommend going a book as your first money making route. I lucked out. I think I lucked out completely both times, practically, in that it became the launch and it became the catapult in both cases. But for some people, I mean, I can name 1,000 people that have written a book and just done nothing with it. And so it's important that you understand the book is the front end. And when you understand that, when you know that selling the book means the back end, then you can write a book and make money from a book. And that's the piece you're going to take a look at. And again, I'm just scrolling through some of these things so you get a feel for all of the other elements that you can be selling. Webinars, teleseminars. What about it becoming a speaker, okay, and things of that nature? What about providing a service? What about network marketing? How does network marketing fit into all of this? What about selling a tangible product? I sell soap, or I sell this. How does that all work? And so all of the little pieces are in here. Day 18 sales page creation. And this is what I'm talking about. I can only say so much about sales page creation. That's why module 5 in my training, which is at the tracyrepchuk.com/OTO, takes you. It gives you the template. It helps you it shows you exactly what to do and all of the pieces and the places and the why, and talks about, here's the headline and the deck and the body and the subhead and the lead and the rapport and the credibility and the bullets and the testimonials and value justification and all of the pieces that you need to know and where they go and why. And I can demonstrate that visually with video and with templates and with reviews of live clients that have built their own sales page, and then I've reviewed it. And so again, this is a great, beautiful touch point. And what I love about this is people have told me, again, back in when they first originally bought it, that it prevented them from making so many mistakes. Because for anyone who's attended a internet marketing show, you know what they're like, right? You're all excited. Somebody's talking about push button answers. You're jumping and running and buying, or somebody's saying, if you have traffic, everything will be solved. It used to drive me crazy, because if you drive traffic at a crappy website that does not convert, you've solved nothing. You've just caused a bottleneck, and you've caused a kind of a wrong reason why something wasn't working. It wasn't working because the landing page wasn't working. So all the traffic in the world wasn't going to change that. And that's why this book will tell you in the order that you need to be done, what you need to be paying attention to. Because if someone's selling you an awesome traffic program and you have nothing in place yet in order to leverage that traffic, it's probably not the best place for you to spend your money yet. Spend your money at the beginning of the funnel. And that's why I opened up this online clarity call, so that you don't get stuck at the very opening gate. And that is that moment of, what do I sell? Who am I? What market should I go after? What's my unique selling proposition? Those types of things. We're going to solve the front gate so that you can run the rest of the way. Otherwise, you may find yourself getting stuck there. It is a brutal, brutal place, and it's why most people skip it, period. They skip it because they get frustrated waiting 3 months, 4 months, 5 months at the front of a gate, and they just can't solve it. They just can't get there. And so this is why I've attempted to open up the gate for you. So those are all the pieces. If you have your book and you love it, and I'm really hoping that you do, if I can ask that you please go back to Amazon and put a review up there, it would be much appreciated. I have been pulling the reviews off of Amazon and promoting them to my entire database. You have a chance to hit my database with your testimonial and with your URL, right? Because if you liked it and you're up there and you're saying rave, 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 and I like it too, and I'm like, I'm going to promote this to my database, and it says Penny Wild and pennywild.com and something like that, other people are seeing you that are connected with me, and you never know what that leads to. It's all of these little touch points, and so if you could do a testimonial or up there, it would be much appreciated. And I am watching and I am looking. I'm not somebody that I have a team that builds everything. But when it comes to my social media and the emails and all of the pieces that are moving parts, I'm watching all of those because those are my touch points to you guys. And I don't want to step away from that piece because that's the important piece. And so again, something to remember as you're moving forward. What do you let go of, and what do you outsource, and what do you continue to manage? Again, teleseminars, how to put those magical things, webinars, as you can see. I don't do teleseminars anymore, but the exact same principles apply. And the reason I don't do them is because the second a visual medium came out, like webinars, I was all in. I'm a visual person. I need to see stuff. Kind of the chatting in the air, I find I lose it. And yet if I've seen it, I got it. And so I'm a far more visual learner. So this allows, whether you're a visual learner or whether you're, a different type of learner, then the webinars can satisfy it all, which is why I stick to the webinars. And again, here's this little mobile marketing thing talking about, you can go and test your site and see how good it is. And for example, this is not a mobile site, and everybody says my site's mobile ready because look, I can see it on my phone. Okay, that's not a mobile site. A mobile site satisfies 4 criteria, and you've got that all in your book. And so it's very, very cool. And again, we develop mobile sites. We're a one-stop shop for everything you need on the internet. And this book is my way of letting you know the order so that you can safely navigate your way, regardless of who you choose to do that with along your journey. You can safely navigate, and you can know, I don't buy traffic yet. I first need this in place. I've got my landing page in place. Now I can buy traffic. Now I can see that things are converting, and that type of thing, however you want to do. And then this is talking about, on day 29, front end, the difference between the front end and all of these pieces, the comfort level, the trust factor, the back end, okay, the big kahuna. Where are you sending them and what are you doing? And how are you moving them through that progression? And as I say, present them something big at first and let them move back into a comfort zone that they're comfortable with until they get to know you better, until they realize you are the best thing that could have happened to them, and things of that nature. So that's it. That's all there is. I'm just going to check for my last questions there. Again, tracyrepchuk.com/OTO and tracyrepchuk.com/OCC. Those are the two next steps you can partake in if you're interested. And last check for questions. Going, going, going. I think I've answered most of them. Super. Oh, here we go. Just let me check one more. Okay. I've got one word that says help. So I need a little bit more than help, than the word help. But you know what? It takes a lot for a person to say help. I have said help many, 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 many times in my life. And again, yeah, reach out to people that can help you. And if I can't answer your question online right now, feel free to contact us here at the office and ask questions, find out more about any of my programs, do what you can. And if you go to Maestro Support, www. I think it's, is it Maestro dash support, or is it just Maestro dash support.com? I'll bring this up for you. If you have any problems with anything you've ever bought from us, or anything, any questions whatsoever, you want to connect more, you want to find out more, you want to get pricing for programs, you want to know how to have me do it all, whatever it is, this is our help desk and support area. By all means, go to maestro-support.com. You can see our Q&As. You can open up a new ticket, and then you can check your ticket status. Or here's our phone number, 818-859-7210. The reason I say the one good thing I really like about people using this system is, if you, sometimes people will email us and we don't get it. And yet you think we have it, but we don't. It never arrived, and something happened. It got in the Bermuda Triangle of emails. This prevents that from ever happening, because it goes to a ticket system and it resides there, and we go check it online, and then you can check your status of it as well. And so if you've ever emailed our office and we did not reply within about 24 hours, it probably got lost. Come and open up a ticket and say, I sent an email. I don't think you got it, but here's what I was asking or saying or making an inquiry about. All right. There she is. Again, thank you so much for all of those who purchased my book, who helped promote the book, who are about to launch on your journey. Thank you for selecting me to be that beacon and guider of your next steps. And I'm deeply honored, and I know you have a lot of choices. And so thank you very much for making me one of them. And thank you very much for coming out and taking of your time or listening to this as a replay. It has been my honor to be a part of your steps towards your greatness and your journey. And that's it for now. Stay in touch. Join me on Facebook. And I look forward to watching you and your success.